Okay. Someone once said that time is a predator that stalks us all our lives, and one day time will hunt you down and make the kill. Some people are killed by guns. Other people are killed by knives. I am killed by my own incompetence. Hello, my name is Brian Baum, and I should be dead right now. It all began when I was 3 years old, and I got into a big bowl of strawberries. Now, little did I know at the time that I was allergic to strawberries. And after eating an entire bowl of them, I passed out underneath a table. About 5 minutes later, my father's like, "Have you seen Brian?" Then, I woke up in a hospital bed, and I had almost died. From then on, I stayed away from strawberries. So, about another 5 years later, we were in Hawaii. The sun was shining, the water was gleaming and blue, and I was passed out in the backseat of a car after eating 3 macadamia nuts. And my father slowly turns to me as I'm struggling for breath and says, "Have a big yellow needle and stab this in your leg." Needless to say, I wasn't too thrilled stabbing myself with a needle that long inside a spring-loaded case, because it has to actually get injected into your bone marrow, and if I missed, I would suffocate and die. So this is just a great moment in my life, where I have to reflect and smell the roses, as it were. Rumble, 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 those magic rumblers. So, I take this big yellow needle, and I stab myself. Brian, you just stabbed yourself in the leg. Then I started screaming. Strap me down into a chair, and "You're okay, you're..." I was okay, and I wasn't gonna die. And that one seriously caused me to reflect on my life. Like, it's one thing when you're walking down the street and you forget to bring an umbrella, but let's say I had forgotten a big yellow needle. I decided to start carrying around extra protection. I would always have a condom on me, a needle on me, and I would always have shrink wrap, because you never know when you need to protect your hands. If I put my mind to it, I can be injured by anything. So I went to the table saw to go and make myself a piece of wood. You have to push the piece of wood all the way through, because you have a blade rotating incredibly quickly toward you, and if you don't push the wood all the way through, it does what's called a table saw kickback. Now what this entails is a piece of wood flying at you at speeds of over 100 miles per hour. So, I wasn't too good with the table saw back then, and I was pushing the wood through, and it slowly started to catch on the blade. And it flies it back at me, about going 100 miles an hour, and it shatters a bone in my hip. If the guard hadn't have been there, it would have flown into my face. I probably would have been put through the wall behind me. If I was over about half an inch more, it would have gone through my left kidney and I would have bled to death. So instead, I only came out with a fractured hip. Go me! This also kind of got me thinking about life and death more specifically than life, in that I could have been death and now I am living. You have appendicitis and are going to be dead in 1 hour. Well, I wasn't too thrilled at that prospect, and I'm like, what can we do to nip this in the bud? What can we do to say, not have that happen? So, calmly and slowly, they put me onto a bench, and they kind of haul me off to the emergency room. And about 2 hours later, I woke up and they told me, "You were about 2 minutes away from dying." And I was like, well, that's great, just give me my damn button and let me be. We were playing golf, and we were on the first green, I guess, or the third green, and I have my big little driver thing, and I'm like swinging back, and I swing the golf ball, and slowly it's like a movie shot. It goes right behind the golf ball as it goes up and into a high school classroom. And it hits my teacher in the head. Except it wasn't my teacher, it was my rabbi. And he was explaining on the virtues of life and death. And slowly I kind of look up, and I see my rabbi. Little did I know at the time, because I was very high on morphine, that I was actually talking to my rabbi about the virtues of life and death. I was not asleep and I was not dreaming, and I don't know where the golf balls came in. After that, I talked with him some more about life and death, and basically I was trying to ask him why that I have been in this position, and he couldn't really have a good answer for me. He said to ask God. So I asked God, and God didn't really tell me anything, except that, he decided to give me kidney stones a few weeks later. But not only did I have kidney stones, I had kidney stones in bright red sailor makeup, because I was doing HMS Pinafore. So I open the door and I kind of crawl in there on my hands and knees, and I just start screaming, "Knock me the fuck out!" I'm wearing bright red clown makeup. "Will you get me the fuck out of this universe?" They're like, "It's gonna be an hour. Let me kill them so you can get to me. But test this." And they bring these little children in to watch me. "Look at the crazy clown. Oh, I want to say hi to the clown." About 7 hours later, I pass the kidney stone, and I get to go on stage and act as a clown. That wasn't quite an experience with death as it was an experience with horrible horror and pain. One day, I was driving along in my Subaru SVX. The sky unfolds. The reins of the heavens collapse as I'm driving along. And I'm like, that car's slowing down, so I should move over. Turn to the left. My ass starts to shake. And then it starts to rotate. The back of the car tends to rotate around the front of the car. Then the front of the car hits the grass. And it creates a shimmer or a shimmy or a shake or something. And I do a 270-degree turn across the highway. And I thought, I'm okay. It won't kill me. I'm just, a man who's driving and rotating in a car. I hear this ka-krang or something along those lines. Insert impactual noise here. Glass is breaking everywhere. Come to a complete stop. Silence. And I look over, and where my armrest should be is the front corner of a bus. Now, we're not talking about any bus. I noticed part of it was kind of going through my shoulder. I'm in a car going 50 miles an hour, and now I'm dead. At any rate, I get to the trauma ward. They're like, well, now we need to insert you into this tube. And then, the pleasant voice is like, take a deep breath. Back, forward, back, make a breath now. Never been put in a tube? Strongly recommend. So after getting into a car accident, you want to hear about, we're the insurance company. Everything's going to be fine, but no. You're being sued for $100,000 because guess what? I decided to go down the street one day and purchase a $900,000 motorhome. Who spends $900,000 on a motorhome? I mean, it's one thing to spend $900,000 on, say, a normal home, like normal people.